Hey guys, Gian here of Gadget Pilipinas. Handheld gaming and Windows desktop experience have not always been a convenient experience until today. For the past week, I have been using the new ROG Xbox Ally X, and it definitely changed the way Windows runs on devices such as this. Allow me to give you my initial thoughts and observations from that time. And yes, we've got an incoming benchmark review very soon, which will take a deeper look at its performance across many games. For now, here's our first impressions. I wasn't a fan of the design when the first pictures of the ROG Xbox Ally X leaked, but after holding it at Tokyo Game Show, everything became clear and understandable. This device is a team effort between Asus ROG and Xbox, and the design clearly shows that partnership. They have effectively merged the comfortable, familiar shape of an Xbox controller onto the body of an Ally handheld. The result is the most comfortable handheld gaming device I have used. It feels better to hold for long periods than my Steam Deck and even the previous ROG Ally models. The designers made new ultra-ergonomic hand grips for the chassis. The balanced weight of 715 grams also helps make the device feel secure in your hands, reducing strain during long gaming sessions. It is clear that the design is not just for looks, but has a functional purpose rooted in comfort and branding. Asus decided also to use a 7-inch Full HD IPS display instead of an OLED screen. I agree with this choice. The display performance is excellent for what it is, and it helps keep the device at a reasonable price point. This model is priced at $56,995, which feels fair for a machine with its specifications. Early buyers might also get some extra bonuses. Now, colors on the screen are vibrant, and I never felt my sense of immersion was hampered because it is an IPS panel. The screen has a 120Hz refresh rate and supports AMD FreeSync Premium, which keeps games looking smooth and free of screen tearing. It also gets quite bright at 500 nits, and a special Gorilla Glass DXC coating reduces reflections, which is helpful when playing in bright rooms. Sure, an OLED screen would offer slightly better power efficiency and deeper blacks, but that would also increase the cost. For this device, Asus made a smart compromise between quality and price. That said, I do hope they consider releasing a Pro version in the future. A premium model that includes features like an OLED screen or display could appeal to users who want the absolute best and are willing to pay for it. The heart of the ROG Xbox Ally X is the new AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor. Some people might complain that it isn't a massive leap in raw power over the previous generation Z1 Extreme, but they might be missing the point. With this chip, AMD and Asus seem to have focused on balancing cost, power, and efficiency to create a system that is appealing to a wider audience. Power efficiency is where this new APU really shines. In my experience, the device performs very well without drawing huge amounts of power. I played Doom: The Dark Ages at 17W TDP and consistently got an average of 70 frames per second. Now, bumping the TDP up to 25 watts pushed the performance to an average of 83 FPS. These tests were done at a 1080p resolution with in-game FSR and frame generation enabled. The ability to play a modern, fast-paced AAA title so smoothly at just 17 watts is a significant achievement. Now, this efficiency has a huge impact on battery life. While playing Doom: The Dark Ages at that 17-watt setting, the battery level dropped by only 10% after 24 minutes of continuous gameplay. That is incredibly impressive for a handheld PC. The device has a large 80Wh battery, and when combined with the efficient processor, it delivers some of the best battery performance I have seen on a device like this. Of course, your mileage may vary depending on the game and settings that you have. But if you are someone who enjoys playing indie titles that often require 13 watts or less, you will be able to use this device for a very long time on a single charge. Now, sound performance is also worth mentioning. The dual front-firing speakers create a surprisingly wide soundstage that mimics a surround sound experience when playing games. It adds to the immersion and is just as good as I remember from previous ROG Ally devices. The single biggest improvement, in my opinion, is the software. Throughout my entire week with the ROG Xbox Ally X, from the initial setup to booting my first game, I rarely had to use the touchscreen. This is thanks to the new Xbox Full Screen Experience, which is a custom interface powered by Windows 11. It is highly optimized for controller navigation, regardless of which game launcher you are using. This new interface acts as a unified library for your games, pulling from Xbox, Game Pass, and other installed stores like Battle.net and even Steam. A dedicated Xbox button on the face of the device brings up an enhanced game bar, which lets you browse your library from various launchers, chat with friends, or access device settings without leaving your game. Everything feels intuitive and console-like. In fact, I only found myself using the touchscreen for specific situations like switching Steam to big picture mode because it wasn't the default view. If you're familiar with the standard Ally shortcuts, you can easily switch between different launchers and also games. For those who want the full, unfiltered PC experience, you can still switch to the standard Windows desktop mode on the fly. This gives you the freedom to do anything you would on a normal Windows PC. But when you switch, the system recommends a restart for a more optimized experience. My take on this is that if you don't restart, the regular Windows desktop environment continues to run in the background, using up a bit of memory that could otherwise be used or dedicated to the Xbox full screen experience. I usually chose not to restart and it was still fine. Having this flexibility though is a major advantage. What Xbox and Asus ROG have done is deliver the experience I have always wanted on a Windows-based handheld. It feels like a console but retains the openness of a PC. Once this software is rolled out to other Windows handhelds, it could really increase the demand for these kinds of devices, even further, if I may say. The experience is not perfect yet, and it still has a way to go to match the seamlessness of SteamOS on the Steam Deck. But it is, by a wide margin, the best Windows handheld game experience I've had so far. It is absolutely a huge step in the right direction. Now, what is next for us? Once we're done with our benchmarks, we will give you a full rundown of our experience of the ROG Xbox Ally X. While we're initially giving this handheld gaming device a solid 8.5 out of 10, it can still change by the time we publish our full review. Well, that's it for my video today. Special thanks to Asus ROG for sending over this Xbox Ally X for us to feature on this channel. If you've got questions, let me know in the comments section down below. This has been Gian of Gadget Pilipinas. Catch you in the next video. Bye!